Hello, I'm Scott Kuhn. You might know me from my short stories or from my novel, Lost Helix. Today, I'll be reading an excerpt from my short story, Satellite Archaeology, which you can read the entire text in Alien Gaze, the 2022 National Novel Writing Month Anthology from Los Angeles. This short story is about two archaeologists in our deep future going out to a satellite to recover information about another event that's also in our future, but between that future and their future, a lot of the information was lost. And the satellite they're going to, while they're on it gathering data, could explode at any time. And let me begin. This is going to be an excerpt from the middle. And to read the whole story, get the book. How long will it take to download? He asked, trying to sound unconcerned. Janice swept a finger through the hologram, aiming back at Chris. The data flow appeared over his wrist. It estimated the download would take about 27 minutes, or 43 minutes, or maybe 18 minutes. Chris hated computers. He was about to turn it off when something caught his eye. He paused the audit and dialed it back a few emails to a subject line that had one of those pictographs that used to be popular. Chris opened the email. Happy Yule, it read. I miss you, L. Sorry it's a little late for a Yule greeting. I waited so that this would be the first message going over the remote satellite. It should get to you before my last email. My first video chat isn't until the end of January, the cheap bastards. Too bad, because I'd love to show you this. As if a picture would do it justice. It's so beautiful here. I can't wait for you to see it for yourself. Which will be soon, right? How is closing up the cabin going? Remember to foam the stone statues and wrap the wooden ones. Is Sirius doing okay at my mom's? You did bring him over there so he can get used to it before you leave, right? It went on, but Chris stopped reading to check the header. It came from Zoe Petreo, can't read my own writing, on the mining personnel carrier, the Eurydice, and went to Eleanor Feltz in Colorado, North America. Dated December 29th, 2163, during the decade of disasters. Chris didn't recognize the ship's name. There'd been so many expeditions back then. The Eurydice was probably part of a small, forgotten venture. Even so, this type of personal correspondence was everything they were looking for, plus an old-fashioned pictograph. With a flick, he sent it to Jana. Aw, an emoji heart glyph. She read the email. That's so sweet. I know, right? Why don't you set up a filter to grab any messages from them? Already ahead of you, Jana's gloved fingers wove through her projected interface. After starting the filter, Jana shrank the display and jetted up to the antenna scaffolding above the orb. Wire unspooled behind her. Chris magnetized his boots and walked across the surface to stand under her. Together they held the scaffolding as they gazed into the universe, her feet floating, his planted, and starting to cramp up already. The view was mesmerizing until Chris remembered the lights that were red but not blinking yet. He checked the download timer. It was still giving wildly useless estimates. He considered going back and monitoring the lights just in case. I hope Hell made it out to experience this, Jana said. After seeing Saturn together, I think I know which path I want. Her answer was obvious. Collector. She wanted to be amongst the stars. All Chris wanted right now was to get away from this satellite as soon as possible. He leaned back to check the satellite's computer. The two red rings remained steady, no flashing. The telemetry from the other satellite was passing through that wormhole to reach them. Would that wear out the dark matter faster? Chris was a historian, not a physicist. All he knew was that if it blinks, they run. Another message appeared over their wrists. They both read it. "Happy New Year," started the message from Elle. "I miss you too. Sirius misses you. Even Colorado misses you. I was looking at the marble bust of Sirius you made last summer. I just couldn't foam it. And I couldn't leave Sirius or the cabin or Earth. Maybe we should rethink this. I mean, why would we want to live in a cramped ship when we could have all of Colorado as our backyard?" Before Chris finished reading Elle's message, the reply popped up. Zoe wrote, "But it's so beautiful here, and I've already made us a little home on the Eurydice. Even though we're married, I had to fight to get a double because you haven't finalized your contract. I told them it was probably just some bureaucratic garbage. But now you're telling me you're having second thoughts. We had a plan. You're not going back on your word, are you?" Floating above Chris, Janice said, "A little late for Elle to be changing her mind. I mean, Zoe is already out there, or here, really." Chris said, "She should have thought it through before Zoe left. But I can't blame Elle for having second thoughts. I mean, it is dangerous out here." "And amazing," Janice said as she stretched an arm out to the universe. "How could Elle pass this up?" So I hope you enjoyed that little excerpt from Satellite Archaeology, available in Alien Gaze. Go get a copy on Amazon.com or wherever books are sold. Also, check out my other published works at ScottKuhnSci-Fi.com, and check out my novel Lost Helix at LostHelix.com, also available on Amazon and anywhere books are sold. I have an Amazon author page right now, so go check that out, see that, and also It Came From Her Purse, my short story Tangled Fate, in here. It's about yo-yos. It's the most heartfelt short story about yo-yos you'll ever read. And please remember to like and subscribe and leave comments below. Thank you so much.